Yeah, 100% for sure. So anyway, people, we got some big news this week. We're going to lead off with a sad note. Obviously, everybody knows it's been a couple of days. Legendary actor Paul Reubens, otherwise known as Pee Wee Herman, passed away after a battle with cancer. How old was he, Bisho? Was he 64?
70. He was 70.
Pee Wee was 70?
I know. I had that Tim Allen Santa Claus moment. My beard grew in gray, and I got super old for a sec. Oh, my God.
Pee Wee was 70? Maron! Apparently, he had been sick for a while. I don't remember the last time I saw him. Do either of you guys remember, like, Shad, do you remember the last time you actually saw him in any capacity? I can't remember.
I mean, not in newer stuff. Vinegar Syndrome put out a movie called Pandemonium, which is... he's in there. It's a comedy. It's like a dark.
Is he in there as Paul Reubens?
Yeah, it's a slasher with Paul Reubens playing.
He's in a slasher from what year?
I don't know if you can look. It's probably from late '80s, I would assume.
But so he's well established, Pee Wee Herman at that point.
No, 1982. It was before he hit.
Oh, okay, that was before he hit.
It was about the same time he did the Pee Wee Herman show for HBO.
Okay, yeah, I remember him.
It's called Pandemonium. Check it out, man. I think you'll like it.
I remember him in one of the Cheech and Chong movies. I can't remember. It wasn't the character. And then I feel like he was in something else. But
Nice Dreams. Yeah, he was in Nice Dreams as the Hamburger Man.
Oh, hamburger. Yeah, I remember.
I'm sorry, I took the money. I'm sorry.
That's right. Oh, I remember that. Holy shit.
Wasn't he in Happiness? No. He was in a sequel.
I didn't see it. I didn't see Happiness.
Yeah, he was in the sequel. He was in growing up during wartime or something like that. Growing up.
Oh, Life During Wartime.
Yeah, Life During Wartime.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like there was something else he was in. But obviously, I mean, look, Pee Wee Herman was a fucking legend. I mean, right, B-Show, there's just no getting around it. The guy was a fucking absolute legend.
Dude, that one hurt. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. And I don't know if it's because I've been going through the midlife crisis type of shit lately. But it's like, I grew up with him on Saturday morning TV. I've watched, Big Adventure 1,000 times. I used to watch the stage show when they put it on Comedy Central back in the day. Like, something about Pee Wee Herman dying. Like, a little part of my inner child just went with it. And it's sure. Like, dude, yeah. I came home from work the one day, and my wife's like, what's wrong? She goes, did Pee Wee dying really affect you that much? I'm like, it's not just him dying. There's a lot that goes into it. But, I mean, I had like Pee Wee Herman pajamas when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was.
Oh my God, B-Show.
Yes. So, because I grew up watching goofy shit like that, and the Blues Brothers, and like listening to Weird Al Yankovic, and then I discovered like Oingo Boingo, and like that music and his energy. It's like that's how I feel inside, but I can't let it out.
It's like a white middle class roadmap. What you're describing.
Exactly.
It is.
Just that one weird kid in the Midwest is just a little bit weirder than everybody else, but you got to mask it and act normal. Like,
wow. So yeah, but also you guys are a lot young. See, I'm older than you, so I remember like you probably were too young for like when it first came out, like when Pee Wee was like Pee Wee, like, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Shah, what's your first memory of Pee Wee Herman?
Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I bought that on VHS. And I didn't grow up with Pee Wee. I had no idea who he was until probably like 1998.
So Pee Wee wasn't big in Iran.
No, and neither in Germany. I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Pee Wee didn't play well in Iran or Germany.
Did you guys ever hear about the child allegations with him? How true?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So, yeah. but my experience with Pee Wee, Pee Wee's Big Adventure was such a big deal movie. It was like an event kind of movie, and it was something you rented a lot. I remember renting it constantly, memorizing the lines. I remember people doing the, tell them large Marge sent you is still B-Show, like in the vernacular, right? I mean, spearmint or fruit when he gives the kid the gum. Like these are like this. So like what he says something with the thing with Dottie. Oh, at the end, the paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman,
you have a phone call at the front desk.
It's fucking incredible shit. That's a Tim Burton movie, and it really is very Tim Burton-esque. Don't you guys think?
It was one of his first features. I think it was right after Frankenweenie, and they picked him for this.
No, Frankenweenie was after.
Was it? Okay, because I thought that's why they picked him. But
he might have done a short for Frankenweenie, but the Frankenweenie came out like 12.
Yeah, I'm talking the short as like a student film or short.
Okay. Yeah.
And Professor Tanaka's in this. Did you guys know that?
Yes, Tor Tanaka is in that.
Yeah, he's Francis's like butler bodyguard guy.
Yeah. Oh, the Alamo stuff. It was just there's so many good lines. I don't know who wrote the movie, but it's a fucking. Sha, you a fan of Big Adventure?
I'm really not, man. I never got the Pee-wee stuff. Like it didn't resonate with me at all. But
Really?
shout out to Joe Punches in the chat room. He says he was also in Blow with Johnny.
He was
Depp.
phenomenal in Blow. That's not. It's the dude who directed Silence of the Lambs' nephew who died. He died a long time. He also did Beautiful Girls.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's dead. I forget what happened.
Did you guys ever see the clip of him? I think it's from his HBO show. I was just checking out some clips from him on YouTube, and one of the infamous ones is the dog scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but Bayou Geeks, Fatty's bringing up, and I think Joe Punch. Remember, he was on Raw. Like he did a bit on Raw as Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
On Monday Night Raw.
There's a segment that he did on his HBO show where he was going home to feed his dog, and then out of nowhere, it's like a totally normal episode, and out of nowhere, it just zooms into his dog bowl and the dog eating for like 5 minutes, and it just keeps zooming into the dog's mouth. It's just 5 minutes of the fucking
Yes.
dog eating.
Yeah, because I watched the other night. I was looking for Big Adventure, and it's not streaming anywhere. So I pulled up the Pee Wee Herman show. That had a bit with like shoe mirrors and shit. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh my god!
And here it is, because he would show like as intermission for the breakdowns to change the set and stuff, or the costumes. He would he'd show like old public service announcements from the 50s.
Yeah, I heard
like,
that.
super ironically.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Weird Al vibe. Like they were kind of
Yes.
like these esoteric, weird, like even Tiny Tim, like this weird, off-putting, Andy Kaufman, but not as not as artistic. But the big thing I remember was when he got caught jerking off in the porn theater, because it was fucking like people acted like this was the biggest deal ever. This was 1991, no internet. You got your news from the news, and you had to, I just remember people thinking he was going to be finished, and he was so red hot. That mugshot was on this mugshot was everywhere, guys. Like this, people made T-shirts out of this mugshot. They made like mugs out of the mugshot. He was rubbing one out in a porn theater, I guess, in Florida, which is wild to even think about now. Porn theaters. Like, when the fuck did that? It's unbelievable. And MTV let him on, I think, at some point later on that year, and he walked out and said, "Heard any good jokes lately?" Like that, because there was so many Pee Wee jokes.
It was a cold open at the VMAs, I think.
Cold open, yeah. They let him go out there, and that kind of softened the blow. You know what I mean, so to speak. And then he did end up being in Blow, which with Johnny Depp, which is a great movie, and was it Penelope Cruz? I think is in that as well. Penelope Cruz. That's a great movie. The book that it's based on is way better, like the true story and all that shit. But Shah, you seen Blow, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah.
Cocaine, plenty of cocaine.
Yeah, and then he got in the Buffy movie. That's right. Joe Punches brings up
that death scene is awesome.
Yeah.
Kicking
But
the
he
wall.
tried to be. I think he tried to be Paul Reubens, and less Pee Wee and more. And then of course he had a revival. Now listen, I haven't done a Pee Wee deep dive about these porn charges. I don't know how but apparently they there was he got his house got raided, B-show, right, in 2005.
Yeah, I kind of know the story because I heard about it about the time the new movie came out on Netflix, and I was debating whether or not to let my kids watch it. And apparently,
because of the porn allegations, naturally.
Yes, yeah. I just it just felt weird. Yeah. So basically, he said he was ready to be done with Pee Wee. The show ended, and then he got caught kind of in his hiatus at the theater.
Right.
So then after he comes back and he makes his resurgence. Police raid his house, apparently because he was friends with Jeffrey Jones, who was an actor in the 80s. The principal from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, you know who that is, Shah? Jeffrey Jones. This guy was a character actor. He was... I remember this now.
Yeah, so Jeffrey Jones actually got arrested for soliciting pictures from teenage boys. Wasn't
the dad from Alf possibly involved in this as well?
I don't know, but... Willie, what are you doing with those pictures back there?
That's my Willie.
But because he was friends, apparently they were investigating, and they went to Reubens' house, And apparently he said he had a lot of kitschy collection shit like tchotchkes and old art books and shit. And they said they found child stuff.
Yeah.
But then when they went through it, one of the district attorneys threw it out and said there was nothing there. And then another one prosecuted late. And allegedly there was like modeling pictures of like teenage boys, and there was some other stuff that may be nude. But the thing that saved him was the guy he got the collection from. He said he collected art books and old kitschy like magazines. And even the art collector was like, dude, he bought like a crate of 10,000 different things for me. Number one, he never asked for anything obscene. And number two, there's no way he knew what he had.
So it was in there with like he bought a lot of kitsch shit, and there was fucked up shit in the kitsch shit.
Correct.
Okay. So that's probably why they didn't prosecute, because you got to figure, guys, if this was very legit and they had a case, this was a guy who already had the porn shit happen to him. I think it would have been very easy to fucking close the door on that guy if there was a case.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I mean, obviously those are all allegations and it never led to anything, but I would believe it.
Really?
Anybody that acts that childish and like almost like lives the gimmick to the fullest, like there's something wrong there, man. Like Michael Jackson was kind of the same vibe. Like he would act like a child. There's something psychological there, I think. And the fact that he was horny and got caught jerking off in a porn theater, I mean.
Yeah, JT was mentioning that other actor got work. That other actor ended up on fucking Deadwood. He was a major character on Deadwood.
Yeah, he also was in Sleepy Hollow too, years after he got caught. And he got in trouble for not registering. He was on a set somewhere, and there was kids on the show, and someone reported him because he was failing to report. Now that's Jeff Jones, not Pee Wee.
Jeff Jones. So. Also, Pee Wee got a part in the Batman Returns right after that with no speaking. Tim Burton he played the Penguin's dad. I don't know if he played, when Danny DeVito's character, Oswald Cobblepot, he was the father. I don't think he even had a speaking part. That was the first thing.
Yeah, and funny enough, him and the actor that played, what's her name? Simone from Pee Wee's Big Adventure. That's the wife. Au revoir, Pee Wee. Au revoir.
Okay, yeah.
Au revoir, Simone. Like, it was those two got to play the mom and the dad in Batman Returns. So.
Oh, is it? Was that when Tim Burton was putting his live-in girlfriend in all of his movies, who like really couldn't act? She was like a pinup girl looking. She was in like Mars Attacks and shit.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, this is before he was with Helena Bonham Carter. He's been with her for like 20 fucking years, maybe more than that. If you look up Mars Attacks, I know Shah's a big Mars Attacks fan. She played like the actress model. She also was in the movie about the Plan 9 from Outer Space and all that shit. The Glenn or Glenda guy. Johnny Depp played him. You know what I'm talking about. The black and white movie, Shah.
Oh,
why can't I remember the name of it? Boris Karloff is Bela Lugosi is played by what's his face? He won Academy.
Ed Wood.
Yeah, Ed Wood. Ed Wood's dope. Ed Wood's a dope movie. Pee Wee's not in that, but Shah. So you think Pee Wee might have been a Pee Wee toucher?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't want to put anything on a man that just died, but like it wouldn't shock me if those allegations had some legs to it, because again, he acted like a child. Like he seemed like he wanted to be in that circle and never grow up. And again, comparing it to Michael Jackson, man, like I really think there's something to that. When you act like a kid for, decades, it almost seems like a fetish. Like that's something that you were like into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Chris Matthews brings up he came back. He was on Gotham playing the same character, the father of Oswald Cobblepot again. I didn't know that. And I was watching Gotham for a while, and then Joe Punches said he was Jeffrey Jones was the dad in Beetlejuice. Like,
yeah.
These were Tim Burton's guys. Wow. Boy, I'll tell you, if this happened today, none of this would take place.
No. And see, the other thing too is like the Michael Jackson thing, and I'm not gonna die on this hill for Pee Wee Herman because you don't know. But like Michael Jackson kept catching those accusations for fucking 30 years after the first one. Once this happened in like the mid 90s or 98, whenever it was, when Reubens got caught again, you didn't hear anything like that ever again. Like no accusations, no weirdness, no jerking off in theaters.
I think this was 2005 that he got caught in that.
Was it? Because he was on Raw in like 2009.
2009? Wow.
When they were doing the guest host stuff in like 2009 or 2010.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those clips.
I still wouldn't charge it up to that he's probably not guilty just because he never got caught again. Because, I mean, he could have just been smarter than Michael Jackson, or his addiction to that kind of taboo thing.
Yeah,
I mean, less, controlling than Michael Jackson's.
I mean, they got that Jeffrey Jones guy. Why didn't they get Pee Wee if he was just as guilty? You know what I'm saying? Like that guy had to register as a sex offender. You know what I mean? And Pee Wee didn't. They just dropped the charge. They gave him less bullshit. They gave him bullshit charge. and it wasn't anything related to like sex offender charges.
It was like obscene material or something
material,
like that.
yeah, like obtaining obscene material and stuff like that. You know, I look, who the fuck knows? But the guy is, you know, was a generational person to so many people. I mean, he just was. Everybody had everybody. He had dolls. He had fucking the kid show. Then he had the revival of the live show, which a lot of famous people were going to that live show. Like very famous A-listers were showing up in the audience for the live show.
And you're a huge Phil Hartman fan. Did you know that they had a falling out?
No, I didn't know that actually.
So basically, Phil Hartman was one of the writers, and he was one of the ones.
Wasn't he on? Wasn't he? He was the.
No,
postman.
he was Captain Carl.
Captain Carl. Okay. Phil
And
Hartman.
he and some of the other characters helped Pee Wee prepare, or Pee Wee, Paul Reubens prepare the show, the stage show, before they got signed. And then he said, as soon as they did the movie and they went through the television show, they were all cut out. And Hartman even helped. He's credited on the screenplay for Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and like nobody got residuals, and there was some weirdness there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, that was a very long time ago too. I mean, who the fuck knows, honestly? You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're saying JT's saying the masturbation, that was 91. That was the porn theater. The cheese pizza thing was in 02.
Wow.
Okay, it was in 02. The cheese pizza to keep the language clean. Cloudy. But listen, it was a huge deal. I mean, I saw very famous people. I'm sure you guys saw too. Everybody was talking about Pee Wee this week, right, Shah? I mean, like.
Yeah, actually, it was funny because I went on Amazon and eBay just to check out of curiosity what his movies are selling for and what the memorabilia costs.
Oh wow!
All of his movies are completely sold out on Blu-ray, and you cannot find it. It's all going on Amazon. Best Buy is sold out. Everywhere is sold out.
Like Big Top Pee Wee, impossible to find. Like really, it's not even that good. It's
good luck. You got to go to eBay.
I can only imagine like the older copies of.
And Warner Brothers, they own Big Adventure, so they're probably gonna restore that and put it on 4K and capitalize on his death because like.
Wow.
You know, the Blu-ray is out of print now, so there's no way to get it. Why not just make a 4K?
Yeah. And Chris Matthews brings up Lawrence Fishburne was the cowboy on Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Cowboy Curtis, yeah.
Also, that doll that you were referring to.
The doll was a big deal.
Yeah, the one that you were referencing, that's $250 now.
I saw that doll at cons. Like you could have bought that doll at a Comic-Con for like $30.
He just died. $250 now. But
I can only imagine the Comic-Con shit. Like the people wheeling out the Pee Wee shit at the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, listen, guy's gonna be. Look, there was really nobody was like Pee Wee Herman, man. It's just nobody. The whole concept behind it was so weird, and it worked. It was successful. You know, there's a lot of generation of people. You guys are a lot younger than me that think that's like Bisho said. That's your childhood. You know, you grew up with this motherfucker, Bisho, right? Essentially.
Yeah. Like I said, I had Pee Wee PJs and watched the movies. Like I said, I grew up with a lot of weird shit. Like I listened to Weird Al Yankovic as a kid. I liked like Devo a little bit. I discovered Oingo Boingo later. Like all these weird eclectic things, and Pee Wee was definitely a part of that. So
yeah. Well, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman. We don't know. I don't know. I hope you weren't. I really hope the accusations weren't true. But you know, we're never gonna know now, right, Shah? Never gonna know.
He reminded me of like an unfunny version of Mr. Bean. Because again, I'm not the biggest Pee Wee fan. Like I didn't understand the humor.
But you love Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is your Pee Wee.
Dude, Mr. Bean is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Shah loves Mr. Bean. He loves him.
Dude, he put out one season, and I've watched that season probably 100 times in my lifetime, and I'll watch it 100 more times. Like, it never gets old.
Christ.
Now,
if Mr. Bean gets caught with like horse porn, what are you gonna do? Like, you know, if Mr. Bean gets caught fucking a horse, what do you think he'll do?
His mugshot's just.
I'd probably buy that shirt on it. That'd be a great shirt.
Like you see his dick in a can of beans, just for the irony. Like, you know what I mean? But speaking of accusations,
bars and shit.
You know, these are very new. The last day or two,